This is Jonathan.
And I'm Day Day. English pickup lines.
In this lesson, we'll learn about adverb clauses with the conditional tense and listen to a conversation between Dave and Isabel over the phone. Dave is going to try and ask Isabel out on a date.
Ooh, I wonder how that goes.
The level of speech starts out a bit formally because they still do not know each other well. However, after Dave asks out Isabel, the tone changes and becomes much more casual.
I think that's it. Let's listen to the conversation. Hello? May I ask who's calling?
Hi, is this Officer Fuentes? This is Dave Wiseman. I spoke with you after I got mugged and you gave me your card.
Ah, hi Dave. How are you? Feeling any better? Did you remember anything that might aid our investigation?
I'm doing fine, thanks. It was just a few scratches and bruises. Actually, I was calling you for another reason.
Yes? What was that?
Well, I realized that this might be a little bit inappropriate, but I was wondering, unless it's against your rules, would you be free to get a drink sometime?
Are you asking me out?
I am, unless you think I shouldn't be.
Well, it's a bit irregular, but it's adorable. In case you want to meet me, I'll be over by the pavilion at the Eastern Market around 10 on Saturday.
Really? That's great. I'll head over then.
Do people really ask each other out over the phone like this? Isn't that a bit not okay?
Well, asking someone out over the telephone the way Dave did is certainly not the most common manner, but the language that he used is pretty common, and it usually wouldn't be considered too bad for him to do this. I would say the most common way to ask someone out on a first date is to ask them for coffee or a drink.
Wait a second. You asked me out for a drink when we first met. Were you asking me out?
Good point. In the States, just because someone asks if you're free for a drink, it doesn't necessarily mean they're asking you out on a date. They could just be trying to get to know you better as a friend.
So how do you know the difference?
Just do what Isabel did and ask. It's perfectly appropriate to clarify what they're asking.
Okay. So were you asking me out on a date?
Well, no. Sorry.
That's okay. I would have said no then.
Ouch. Let's move on to the vocab.
The first word we shall see is
To aid.
to assist, to help.
To aid. To aid.
Next we have
Bruise.
a dark purple, brownish mark you get after being hit.
Bruise. Bruise.
Next is
Inappropriate.
not acceptable, should not be done.
Inappropriate. Inappropriate.
Next we have
Irregular.
abnormal, not regular, unusual.
Irregular. Irregular.
Next is
Adorable.
very cute.
Adorable. Adorable.
Next we have
To wonder.
to think about, to speculate in an uncertain manner.
To wonder. To wonder.
Next is
Eastern Market.
a historic market in Southeast Washington, D.C., known for its wide array of food, used goods, and inexpensive clothing.
Eastern Market. Eastern Market.
Next we have
Actually.
as a true fact, really.
Actually. Actually.
Next is
To head over.
to go somewhere, casual.
To head over. To head over. Let's have a closer look at the usage for some of the words and phrases from this lesson.
The first word we'll look at is
To wonder.
in the dialogue. Dave starts out one of his sentences with, "But I was wondering."
As we saw in the vocab, to wonder something means to think about or speculate. We often say, I was wondering, before a question to someone to indicate that we had thought about it before asking it. Dave was doing this to show that he gave his question some thought before asking Isabel.
Ah, I see. So, Jonathan,
Yeah?
I was wondering, what's your favorite color?
Seafoam green, of course. Hey, Day, I was wondering, what kind of movies do you like?
I think you know that I love 1970s Italian horror films.
Great. What's the next phrase?
Actually.
As a true fact, or really?
Dave says, actually, I was calling you for another reason.
Dave says this before he changes the topic from his mugging to trying to ask Isabel out. Actually means really, but we often use it as a transition from one topic to another when we are trying to guide the conversation or express an opposite opinion in response to a question. Ready for the grammar explanation?
Actually, I was wondering if you could give me another example of these phrases.
Well, sure. Try and ask me a question.
Okay. Do you want to get lunch soon?
Actually, I already ate lunch. Okay, ready now?
Absolutely.
Our lesson focus is on using adverb clauses with a conditional tense.
Dave says, unless it's against your rules, would you be free to get a drink sometime?
Adverb clauses, like noun clauses, are phrases that take the place of an adverb in a sentence. Can you think of any, Day?
Sure. I will get that to you when I have free time.
Right. The adverb clause is when I have free time. Adverb clauses answer the questions when, how, or why.
But this lesson focuses on using adverb clauses with the conditional tense. We use these regularly with the conditional tense to express the conditions. Often, we see if being used for the beginning of an adverb clause in this case.
Exactly. Like, if I didn't have to work Sunday, I would go play golf.
The adverb clause is if I didn't have work.
Another example is, they would love to eat a slice of pizza if there are any left.
The adverb clause there is if there are any left.
We can also express conditional tense, as this dialogue showed, by using unless as the beginning of the adverb clause.
Unless is a somewhat tricky word that is easy to confuse with if. Essentially, we use unless for negative statements in questions.
So, we can say something like, unless there is rain, the picnic will be tomorrow.
This means if there is no rain, the picnic will be tomorrow.
We could also say, I'm going to relax unless I have to work.
That means if I don't have work, I'm going to relax.
By using this structure, Dave asks Isabel out, but gives her the opportunity to decline if it is against the rules of being a police officer. This is a very polite and timid way for Dave to ask her out.
Unless you have anything else to say, I would like to finish the lesson.
Sounds good.
Thanks so much for joining us for this lesson.
Thanks for listening. Unless you're busy, we hope you'll be back soon.
Bye-bye for now. Hello? May I ask who's calling?
Hi, is this Officer Fuentes? This is Dave Wiseman. I spoke with you after I got mugged and you gave me your card.
Ah, hi Dave. How are you? Feeling any better? Did you remember anything that might aid our investigation?
I'm doing fine, thanks. It was just a few scratches and bruises. Actually, I was calling you for another reason.
Yes? What was that?
Well, I realized that this might be a little bit inappropriate, but I was wondering, unless it's against your rules, would you be free to get a drink sometime?
Are you asking me out?
I am, unless you think I shouldn't be.
Well, it's a bit irregular, but it's adorable. In case you want to meet me, I'll be over by the pavilion at the Eastern Market around 10 on Saturday.
Really? That's great. I'll head over then.